Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind the Country Chic Cottage. So today Cricut is announcing the Cricut Explore 4 and I have one here to review for you. So I'm going to show you the machine, the differences between it and the Explore 3, and we're going to test some things out. Now, Cricut did send me this machine ahead of time so that I could make this video for you. So this video is sponsored by them. However, all projects and opinions are my own, and I always give my honest opinions and reviews. Now, Cricut is also launching the Maker 4 today, and I have a separate video on it available right now. So I'm putting them up at the same time. So if you want to see the Maker 4 video, I will link to it in the description below this one. So you can watch both, see what the differences are in both. If you're just curious, if you are just want to know about the Explore 4, this is the video for you. Just want to know about the Maker 4, I have another video for you. So when does this launch? So February 28th, you'll be able to purchase this in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Now, in the US and Canada, this seashell color, so the color that I have, will be available on Cricut.com. There's also a sage color that will be available only on Michaels.com in a bundle. That sage color at Michaels will also be in Mexico. So US and Canada for the seashell on Cricut.com, Mexico, US, and Canada, Michaels for the sage, and that's February 28th. Outside of the US, you're looking at March 14th, and it will only be the seashell color, so the color that you see here, kind of a creamy off-white. The sage is kind of a green, moody green type of color. Really like the green, and the seashell is a great neutral. So now, rapid fire style, I'm going to do the differences between the Explore 3 and the Explore 4. So the Explore 4 is this model, the newest Explore model as of the filming of this video, and the previous model, Explore 3. What are the differences? Just rapid fire, and we're gonna test some of these and go into detail later, but just generally, what are the differences? The biggest difference is that the Explore 4 is up to 2 times faster than the Explore 3. So this machine, the Explore 4, is going to be faster no matter if you're cutting on or off a mat. When they released the Explore 3, it was faster on smart materials only. This machine, the Explore 4, opens up the technology to make it faster across the board. So we're going to test it, of course, but it should be up to 2 times faster on and off the mat. So you're talking about cutting iron-on, vinyl, paper. I'm going to test several things in this video. We're going to put it side by side with the Explore 3 and see just how much faster this machine is. Second biggest difference is this machine comes out of the box with more things. So you're going to get more materials, different things like that. So it is going to come with more. And at the price point of $249, that's retail for the Explore 4, it is a really great deal for everything that you get. So bottom line, if you are shopping for a brand new Cricut machine and you want something in the Explore series, I would definitely go with the Explore 4. I'm going to talk about it more at the end of this video with my final review, but I would go with the Explore 4 if you're shopping for a new machine. If you're looking for a machine that is faster than what you already have, continue watching this video. Let's put this one to the test. You might want to consider the Explore 4. If you have a current Cricut machine and you are happy with it, perhaps the Explore 4 isn't for you right now, but once you're looking to upgrade, definitely look at the Explore 4 as an option. Now, a lot of the things are going to look the same if you already have an Explore 3 or even an Explore Air 2. Same size, same buttons as the Explore 3. The inside is going to look very similar. So we are going to deep dive into all of this, look at the entire machine, and yes, it does take the same tools as your current Explore machines. So those tools don't change. It does come with your fine point blade to get you started, but if you have other blades for machines that you already own, Explore machines, this machine can use those blades. And we'll take a look at those blades in a minute as well. So first things first, let's dive into what comes with the Explore 4 so you can see what I'm talking about as far as it coming with more materials. In the box, you'll find the Explore 4 machine itself. You do have to remove quite a bit of packaging material. If you'll use this button on the side to open that up, you will find a blade, fine point blade, already installed into the machine. And then also with the machine, you'll get your power cord, a USB cord, a mini weeder, a fine point pen, a light grip blue mat. There's also some documentation as well as materials for some projects. Now this machine does come with materials for up to 10 projects, including iron-on, some vinyl, some cardstock, tons of different options for you to choose from to make a variety of projects, especially if you're just starting out with Cricut. The outside of the machine is similar to the Explore 3. The button on this side opens up the machine. There are 4 buttons on this side: power button, load, unload, the go button to start your cut, and a pause button that will pause the cut at any time. Once you open it up, this tray also opens up for some storage. There's some storage on this side as well. And then this is your carriage with clamp A and B. B is where the blades go. A is where you can add the pin that comes with the machine. You just drop it in and click it into place to use that. Now the machine comes with 1 pin, like I said, as well as the fine point blade. However, there are other accessories that you can get for an additional purchase. So the Explore tools will fit this machine. That includes the deep point blade for deeper cuts, the bonded fabric blade for cutting fabric, as well as the foiling tool, and that includes 3 tips for different foiling options. Again, those are all 3 purchased separately. You can also purchase a scoring stylus, which goes into the A-clamp where the pins go, and score your materials as well with this machine. Then there are a wide variety of pens, permanent markers, infusible ink that can go in the A-clamp and are all sold separately. Now, those are the only tools that will fit the Explore machine. The Maker tools do not fit this machine. So those are the only tools that fit this particular machine. So the Explore 4 comes with a mat, which you can definitely put your materials on the mat and cut them on the mat, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But you can also cut smart materials without a mat. The smart materials are specifically designed for Cricut machines. You can purchase them on a roll and they will feed into your machine with no mat required. You can also optionally purchase a roll holder that will add to the tray of this machine, and that way you could add your material and it sort of holds the roll of material. This makes it very nice when cutting rolls of material. Definitely not required, but a nice additional accessory if you're going to use smart iron-on or smart vinyl. So other materials that are not smart materials you would add to a mat. This includes things like cardstock, 12 by 12 sheets of vinyl or iron-on. Now, the machine comes with a light grip mat, which is great for iron-on, vinyl, paper, a wide variety of materials. However, there are also other mats available that you can purchase separately. The blue mat is a light grip mat, and then you could purchase the green, purple, or pink mat, green being standard grip, purple being strong grip, pink being fabric grip, for other materials that you might want to cut with your Explore 4. And then there is additionally a card mat available where you can cut pre-cut cards. So these mats are additional accessories, and I do have other videos using them with other Cricut machines, and the instructions would be the same for this machine. So now that we've taken a closer look at this machine, it is time to set it up. It's time to plug it in and set it up. I want to rapidly kind of walk you through the setup process so you can see just how simple it is to get started with an Explore 4. Then you can go ahead and plug your machine up and walk through the setup. So you go to Cricut.com/setup and it will walk you through the setup process. The setup process overall was super simple to do, and the guide walks you through the entire process. You can either use Bluetooth or the USB cord to hook your machine up. I chose to use Bluetooth in my case, but if you want to connect your Cricut machine via USB cord, you can do that. Once it's all set up and connected to your computer, it will ask you to do a test cut. To do that, I grabbed the smart vinyl piece from the packet that came with the Explore 4. Because this is smart material, we don't have to use the mat, so we can just put it under the guides on both sides. So there are white guides on both sides. We're just going to put it under there and push it up against the rollers in the back. Then we'll hold it into place, and I can press the load unload button on the side here, and it will then load that material. What it does at this point is just measures, make sure that I have enough material, and then you can press the go button on the side to make the first cut. Now it may take a few seconds to start cutting, and then you can kind of watch the magic happen as you make your first Cricut project. Now I'm not going to speed this portion of the video up because I want you to see how fast this cuts. We are going to do some comparisons with the previous model in a few minutes, but that is how fast that cut that project in real time. Once the project is done cutting, we can hit the unload button to unload that from the machine. So at this point, I can peel this sticker back, and I have a Cricut sticker that I could use anywhere. So this was the adhesive vinyl. It's adhesive on the back. So I've just made a sticker with my Cricut machine that says Cricut. The first project is complete. So now I have more vinyl here where I could make some more decals. I have iron-on that also came with the machine, and I could make something that would go on a shirt. And then there's also paper that came with the machine, so I could make a paper cutout. So now we just need to decide what we want to make next. So I can type something like decal and see a few different projects that I can start to create. So now we are ready to create with this Explore 4. Now during that setup process, it did prompt me to download Design Space. So Cricut Design Space is what you're going to use to communicate with the Explore 4. Now what I showed you was the desktop version, so that would be if you have a computer. Now if you want to use your phone, there's also an app that you can use to communicate with your Explore 4. Now I find Design Space is an easy program to use, but I do have a quick start video for you, so if you're just getting started with your Cricut machine, head to the description below this video and you can find a link to the video where I explain more about Cricut Design Space. So now we have this set up, we cut our example project. Let's talk about materials that you can cut with this. I'm going to cut a few materials in this video, but there are hundreds of materials that you could cut with the Explore 4. Head to the Cricut website and you can see a list of the materials themselves. And you can kind of decide if this machine is right for you or if you need to step up to, say, the Maker 4, which cuts even more materials. This machine primarily for thinner materials, so think of it that way. So in this video, I'm gonna cut some smart materials. I'm gonna cut some vinyl or iron-on a mat. I'm gonna cut some cardstock or paper. I'm gonna cut some faux leather just to mix it up a little bit. And I'm gonna do a print then cut project because yes, if you have a separate printer, you can print and then cut the design out with the Explore 4. So kind of wanted to show that variety a little bit and compare this one speed-wise to the Explore 3. So I do want to go through the max cut sizes for this machine. They are the same as the Explore 3, but if you don't know those, just maximum cut sizes. So if you're cutting smart materials, you can cut up to 11.7 inches wide and up to 12 feet long. If you cut on a mat, it's going to be 11.5 inches wide, and then they do make a longer mat, and that one would be a 23.5 inch long cut. If you just have the 12 by 12 mat, it's an 11.5 by 11.5 inch max. And the Explore 4, like I said, it cuts thinner materials and you're looking at a 2mm thick maximum, but that does depend on the material itself. Like not all materials could be 2mm thick. And you might need that deep point blade that I showed you during the blade portion of this video to cut some of those materials. So it might not be able to cut all those materials out of the box. So now it is time for some tests. So I am going to test cutting on the Explore 4. And while I'm doing these tests, I might as well put my Explore 3 beside it and have it cut the same project at the same time so we can test those speeds. I am going to leave it all at real time, so you're going to see both machines cut in real time. So the parameters here, I'm going to cut the same project with both. I am using a desktop to send to both. I will send to both at the same time. And I'm using the same internet connection and both are hooked up via Bluetooth. So it should be a comparison of what both machines can do. So let's cut some projects. For these tests, the Explore 3 will be on the left. The Explore 4 will be on the right. You can tell the difference because of the colors. First test is going to be with smart vinyl, and I am loading the same type of vinyl into both machines. Now that it's loaded, I'll go ahead and send the same design to both. I'm going to press the go button on both machines at the exact same time. basically they ended about the same time on smart materials. This one might have ended a few seconds faster if we did like a slow-mo replay. So I'm gonna unload both. Next up, we are going to cut iron-on the mat. So this is just a 12 by 12 sheet of iron-on. And I have the exact same piece of iron-on for both machines, both on a mat. And we're going to load them both up first of all. And you load it in the same way, just under the guides, load, unload button. Once those are loaded up, I'm gonna hit the go button on both machines at the same time. And I did mirror my cuts because this is iron-on, and I placed it shiny side down on the mat. The clear winner in this case is the Explore 4. It is done way faster than the Explore 3. So this is cutting on a mat, which is where this machine is going to be much faster than the previous models of Cricut machines like this one. So now this machine is finally done and I can unload both of these. For this next test, I'm doing like a medium cardstock. I modified the design to have some pen lines as well, so we can test and see how fast this machine is with pen as well as cut. So in each machine I have a black pen installed as well as the fine point blade. I'm gonna load both of the mats, exact same piece of cardstock on both. I'm gonna hit the go button at the exact same time. So the Explore 4 machine is done, and you saw that the pen was actually faster than the Explore 3 as well. So not only does this cut faster, it also does things like draw faster as well. And the Explore 3 is almost done at this point, so I would say that the Explore 4 is much faster doing cardstock on a mat, and even the pen lines were faster. Next, I'm gonna do the Cricut faux leather. It's a paper thin faux leather. And because I wanted to use the same material for both, I cut the material into a square. So I did wanna show you that you don't have to have full sheets of material with this machine. You just put any small pieces on a mat to cut. And then for faux leather, I do put the good side down on the mat and I mirrored the cuts. And then I can load both of the mats. And this just uses the fine point blade, so the blade that comes with the machine is fine. I feel like I'm also noticing that the load unload might be a little faster with this one as well as I'm making. Now both are flashing. I'm going to press both go buttons at the same time. Explore 4 is done. definitely way faster than the Explore 3, even with a material like faux leather. So it's not necessarily on like just vinyl, iron-on, and cardstock. Other materials on the mat are faster as well. I'm gonna go ahead and let this one cut in real time, but it is a lot slower than the Explore 4 here. Go ahead and unload this just to show you that the fast does not mean that the cuts are impacted at all. The cuts have all been great with the Explore 4, even with the faster speeds. So the Explore 3 is finally done with this one, and I can unload this. So now I'm testing a print and cut project. Now, I'm not gonna go into the details of how to do print and cut. However, I printed this on my inkjet printer from Cricut Design Space, and I will link to another video in the description below this one of how to use the print and cut function. It is the same for all machines. So now I'm gonna add this to the mat. This is Cricut printable vinyl, and it will cut with the fine point blade that came with the machine. So we're just using the tools that came with this machine and some different Cricut materials in this video. Now, print and cut will read these sensor marks that are in the corner and then cut around each of my printed elements. So I have the exact same print and cut design, exact same number of stickers on both of these prints. Now that I'm watching the load unload again, I definitely think the load unload is even faster with the Explore 4. Now both lights are flashing. I'm gonna hit the go button at the same time on both machines. So both Cricut machines are going to read the registration marks in the corners in order to locate the cuts. Now I will say that I calibrated both of these machines before starting this. So when you use the machine for the first time or when you make any changes, you will need to do a print then cut calibration. And I did do that before starting this process. Once it's read all 4 corner registration marks, both machines will begin to cut, and then we can kind of see the speed. I feel like they're reading the marks about the same speed, so let's see what the cut actually does. Explore 4 is done cutting all 12 of these stickers, and Explore 3 is just starting on sticker 7. So definitely at least 2 times faster. And for these stickers, I did a kiss cut. You can do a through cut if you would like, but I decided a kiss cut would be best. And I just wanted to show you that the cuts are still really, really great. And the calibration worked great on these. I feel like that is just about perfect with that Explore 4. And we'll just have to wait for the Explore 3 to finish cutting these. So if you do a ton of print and cut projects, the Explore 4 is going to be the fastest machine in the Explore series for this. right, Explore 3 is finally done, so I can remove both of these, and let's take a look at these cuts. So I did want to show you that you cannot tell the difference in the cuts between these two machines. So even though the cuts were faster with the Explore 4, the ones on the mat, the cut quality is the same with both of these machines. So you can get great cuts with either machine. You would just get them faster with the Explore 4 rather than the Explore 3. And that's my Explore 3 sticker. And again, calibration worked great on that. And then I showed you the Explore 4 sticker. So now you've seen the Explore 4 go head to head with the Explore 3 on 5 different materials. And seriously, the Explore 4 was the winner in just about every case. I feel like with smart materials, it was pretty much the same speed, but with on the mat materials, Explore 4 hands down the winner. And I do feel like those speed test results really do speak for themselves. So now, which machine should you pick? Now that you've seen the differences, you know, you're shopping for a new machine, do you need the Explore 4? Like, who needs the Explore 4? So I will say when I first learned about the Explore 4, I was like, I don't know, like, do I need a 2 times faster machine? I don't know if I would or not. Like, would I really need it? Now that I've done this video, I must say that the faster cutting is amazing. Like, I really do love the 2 times faster speed on the mat. Generally, I cut most of my materials on a mat because I like to cut odd materials with my Cricut machines. So having this machine be faster on the mat, regardless of what I'm making, makes my project time basically cut in half a lot of the times. So I must say that I'm a huge fan of the Explore 4 now after filming this video, and I wasn't sure if I would be at the beginning of this. So the Explore 4, I feel like if you are, first of all, if you are the person shopping for a new Cricut machine and you've decided that the Explore series is the series for you. It cuts all the materials you want to cut. It is the machine that you think you want to purchase. I would definitely go with the latest and greatest with the Explore 4. I think you'll be very, very happy. Now, are you the person that already has an Explore 3? Should you upgrade or should you not? I would say that, especially if you're using your Cricut Explore series for business purposes, I would definitely consider upgrading to the Explore 4 because of the 2 times faster cutting speed. If you're just a hobby crafter, you'll kind of have to weigh your options. Is the 2 times faster cutting speed worth it for you? Could you perhaps sell your Explore 3 to someone, use that money to upgrade to an Explore 4? Would it make your life easier? Would it make you happier? You know, do you want to spend your extra dollars on the Explore 4? Then perhaps this is the machine for you. Now, if you have an older machine or you're just looking at, like, say you have a Joy and you want an Explore, I would definitely go with the Explore 4 over the Explore 3 as well. I feel like if you are shopping for a new machine at all, like, you're definitely going to get a new machine. You're definitely going to get something in the Explore series. I would definitely get the latest and greatest with the Explore 4. Now, before I leave this, I wanted to tackle one other question that I felt like a lot of people would have, and that is, are my other machines, like, is this blank machine going to be obsolete? Any of the Explore models are still valid. So I still have a Cricut Explore Air 2, I have my Explore 3, I now have an Explore 4. All of those are valid models. So anything in the Explore series is still going to be supported by Cricut. So if you have anything in the Explore series, it's still going to be supported. And then that also applies to anything in the Maker series, Joy, Joy Extra, Venture. Now, if you have anything before that, Cricut stopped supporting those older models several years ago. So if you pick something up on Facebook Marketplace that wasn't a current Cricut model, then you may have stumbled upon this video, and I would highly recommend the Explore 4 if that's the case. Otherwise, you have nothing to fear about your current Cricut machine going obsolete if you have that Explore series, Maker series, Joy, Joy Extra, Venture. If you love the current Cricut machine that you have, enjoy it. But if you have found this video and you're considering an upgrade, do know that within filming this video, I really love my Explore 4 at this point. It may be my new go-to machine just for those faster cutting speeds. So now, if you found this video and you're like, this Explore 4 is really nice, but what about that Maker 4 that also released, Angie? I do have a Maker 4 video and it's linked in the description below this one, so you can head there and learn all about the Maker 4 as well. And I will be doing another video of like which Cricut machine is for you now that there were new models of Cricut machines. So subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't want to miss that one. Now, if you have any questions about the Explore 4 specifically, drop down the comment section and ask any and all questions. I might address those in the comment section. I might make a future video about those, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the Explore 4 model. If you liked this video and it helped you, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, head on over to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. I have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.